Hi everybody, welcome to Lisa's Stamp Studio. I'm Lisa Curcio. I'm going to give you a few minutes to get online. I know with Facebook Live there's a delay, about 8 to 10 seconds between when I'm speaking and when you're actually seeing this. So I'm excited that you're here. I see one person's on with me, which is great, which means yay, I'm not going to be alone. I'm so glad that you've joined me. Wow, a couple of you now, great. Chime in please and say hello. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Hey, Fortune Burke, good to see you. Fortune Burke is my mom and she is also my Facebook virtual assistant. So thanks for being here, Ma. Hi, Linda, I'm so glad you're here. If this is your first time joining me, please introduce yourself and tell me where you're from. Hi, Julie. Oh, both Julies, look at you back to back. I'm so glad that you're here. So make sure that you chime in. Tell me where you're from. If you're a new stamper, I would love to know that. All right, I'm reaching for my iPad, which is right here in front of me, and I'm going to turn that on so that I can also follow your comments on that. It's really kind of important when I turn the camera down. Hi, Ruth. Hi, Marion. So that I can actually see what you're saying as I'm typing. All right, so let's go away there. It's really kind of important when I turn. Hi, Ruth. Hi, Marion. Let me turn that sound off. Okay, there we go. Let me set that down. I am so glad you guys have joined me tonight. I have been really excited about tonight's project. Hi, Gina. Hi, Shauna. Hi, Casey. I wanted to make sure that I wanted to make sure that it flowed really good, like practice. So I actually did a practice run on this card again yesterday. When I created the first time, that's always the prototype, right? All right, couple things about Facebook Live. For those of you joining me, I'm so glad that you're here. Hi, Kelly. Remember, like I said in the beginning, in case you missed it, there is a delay about 8 to 10 seconds between when I'm speaking and when you're actually hearing me. And the same goes true if you ask me a question. If you type it out, I'm not going to be able to see it on my screen for about 8 to 10 seconds. Hey, Kay, I'm glad that you're here, Melody Stamper. So keep that in mind. Also, we're subjected to technology, so we don't know what's going to happen, right? So we pray that we don't lose anybody, but if I should lose you, don't panic. I'll come back on. And if you lose me, the best thing to do is to close the entire Facebook app if you're on a mobile device or your computer, and then come back on. Usually it's just a Wi-Fi connection that causes that disruption. So I hope that doesn't happen, right? Checking out my notes really quick to make sure I don't get past all the little things I don't forget to tell you. Hi, Brooke. I'm glad that you're here. Thanks for joining us tonight. All right. I am going to talk to you a little bit about what's coming up. Hi, Shauna. I'm glad that you're here. Hi, Liz. Oh, I'm glad you joined. I'm glad you like my videos. Thank you. I'm so glad you watch. Hi, Virginia. All right. Let me flip you down. And I'm going to start so we can get going here, right? So let me flip. Every time I do Facebook Live, they change the icons. They're in a different place. Bear with me. Okay, now this is going to be a really ugly view. It's always ugly until I can get things lined up right. Okay, so there we go. All right, I'm going to push you out of the way. I'm going to slide this up. Okay, you want to hear something funny? Right before I went live, I spritzed my Stampin' Scrub on this side, and I got so excited that I was going to go live with you guys. I'm just excited. I sprayed water all over here, so this is slightly damp, and I got my catalog wet. Darn it all. So if this is your first time joining me, I can't tell you how excited I am that you're here. Hi, Wendy and Carol and Linda and Shelly and Tammy. I'm trying to call out all of you, but if I miss your name, please don't be offended. I like or comment on every single thing that you guys type after the live event is over. So just so you know, I do see them all. If this is your first time, I'm so glad that you're here. If you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you are interested in getting your hands on this amazing catalog that is just filled with gorgeous samples and inspiration, I would love to send you one. All you have to do is leave me a comment here on the live, and I'll be happy to send it out to you. Priority mail, so you get it in just a couple days. But are you ready? As if this wasn't enough amazingness, right? Are you ready? Okay, how about that amazingness? Yep. Some of you may have already gotten a glimpse of this online. This is going to be the brand new holiday catalog. This is actually debuting on September 1st. Now, because of the restrictions with Stampin' Up, I cannot open the pages. I know, I'm sorry. But I'm going to tell you right now, let me take a quick look over here. I want to make sure I get this right. I think I did. There are 54 pages of amazing things. The one thing I love about this holiday catalog this year is that there is something for everyone. So if you like whimsical Christmas, we got that. You like fancy Christmas, we got that. You like glimmer and metallics, we got that. We've got traditional prints, and we also have beautiful religious stamps. And of course, we've got Halloween and fall all included. And there's even a stamp set in here or two, I'm not going to give it all away, that are not seasonal. I know they're going to be carried over. You can use them throughout the year. You're going to love this. I'm not going to showcase product from this yet because you know what? I think it's kind of unfair to you. I've had you tell me, don't show me, I can't buy it yet. So it's coming. If you don't follow my blog, I would love for you to. It's lisasstampstudio.com, or you can type in my name, Lisa Curcio. It'll both come up. I put posts up 5 days a week, and I have videos, all kinds of goodies there for you, plus, of course, online classes. All right, so I'm going to set that aside. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Carol. Loretta, good to see you. Liz, oh, it's so good to see you guys here. All right, so I am excited to show you this bundle. We are going to use this tonight. This is the bike ride bundle and the coordinating framelits. Now, you're going to see some of the pieces are missing, and that's simply because I've pulled them out. We're going to be using those tonight. And I know I'm going to get questions about this. Some of you are going to say to me, what is that black stuff in those marks? So let me talk to you about that if this is your first time watching. I actually put the framelits on a magnetic sheet. I've gotten these at the home improvement store, Lowe's, Home Depot. There's a plug for them. And I've cut them to fit that piece of cardboard that's inside the envelope when the framelits come in. And I don't know about you guys, have you just not noticed that the tape on that holding your framelits is like Hercules tape? That stuff is so strong. So you're going to be very careful when you pull them off. And it's strong enough that I just add a little extra adhesive to it, and I put the magnet sheet on top. And then I use a metallic Sharpie marker, and I trace all the framelits when I put them on there. And here's why. If I'm stamping with friends and it's time to clean up, and I see I've got some missing images, I know I need to go on a hunt and peck search to try to get all those pieces home with me. So that's just a quick tip for you there. So those are the framelits. This comes as a bundle. You can either buy it individually, so just the stamp set, or the framelits, or of course both, because who wants to fussy cut this, right? No, not me. And it's photopolymer. You're going to love that for lining it up. And I can't wait to show you some really great tricks that I have learned with this stamp set. All right, also going to be using this, All Things Thanks. This is a great all-around thank you stamp set, and it's going to be great for just about any thank you cards you're going to need. All right, I'm pulling out my Whisper White cardstock. And you know, just so that you know, this is the only piece that's pre-cut for tonight's live event. Yeah, can you believe it? This is 5.5 by 8.5. I am a big fan of my bone folder. If you've watched my videos before, you know that I love this thing. It gives you that really nice crisp edge right along your paper, making it really nice and flat. So you don't get too much boing effect when you're stamping, right? I've pulled out one of the thank you images from the All Things Thanks stamp set, and I'm using my Memento ink. This is my favorite ink for photopolymer, and even though this is red rubber and it's clear mount, I'm just going to stick with the same pad tonight. Now, I'm going to give you some tips about this, and a lot of people don't show this. Did you know this can give you several shades of color? Yeah. So tonight's card, when I was experimenting with design, I didn't want it to be black. So I wanted to make it a little bit lighter. So I'm going to ink up my image on my Memento pad. And check that. I always like to give it a quick look. And I'm going to stamp off here on my scratch paper. You see? Firm, even pressure. And all I've done is I've reduced a layer of ink, and then I'm going to put the rest here on my card base. Lots of firm, even pressure. When your image is big, don't forget you've got to trace out that image, or in this case, the words. So now we've got a little bit lighter shade, so it looks more like a gray tone. So my Stampin' Scrub is off camera. If you guys don't have one of these, this is a must. If you're using baby wipes, shame on you. This is so much easier, and it's a one-time buy, and you don't have to keep buying baby wipes. So I've got one side wet and one side dry, and especially when I'm using black, I always try to get that ink off my stamps right away. The great thing about Memento ink is even though it is a water-based ink, it does dry very, very quickly. So now we've got our greeting here. The next step is I'm pulling out my Pick a Pattern washi tape. Now I know one of you is going to ask me, wow, what is this? This is a 2-inch binder ring. And I put my washi tape package, I separate it and I put it on here because it keeps it together in a color group and it makes it really easy for me just to use one roll. Because if you're anything like me and you throw this in the drawer, you know what's happening. All the rolls are everywhere, right? So that's just another little organization tip for you. I want to use this wide one, but you can see how wide it is. So I'm going to rip off what I want. I'm going to set that off to the side. Hi, Cindy and Beth and Janice. I'm glad you guys are here. But I don't want it this wide. So I'm going to rip it in half. And I am not even, really careful as to it being even. I really don't care. It doesn't matter if it's perfect. And I'm going to lay that here at the bottom. This can be used for my second card, so I'm going to set that aside if I'm going to create one. All right, so that's it on the pre-cut pieces. I'm going to put this aside, and then I'm going to bring in an extra piece of Whisper White cardstock, and this is scrap. Now this is where I'm going to do some stamping. All right, and I also have a confession. All right, when I saw this stamp set in the catalog, I fell in love with it, and here's why. First of all, it's different. It's not just butterflies and flowers, although I love those, and I have oodles of them in my stamp room. I decided this would be a great stamp set for birthday, for get well, for back to school, for teachers. There's flowers, I mean, just about everything in here. And of course, for those of us who have fur babies, right? So I thought, this is really versatile, and I can use this for guys or girls, young or old. And that's one reason why I purchased it, and I have not been disappointed. But here comes my confession. I look at stamp sets, and if they have a gazillion pieces, it's an instant turn off for me. I don't know if you're that way or not, but it is for me. Because I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I've got to use 900 pieces to get something. That was until I got the bike ride. Oh my gosh, wait till you see what this thing does. All right, so I've got separate stamps, and we're going to do some stamping. So I'm going to start with Flirty Flamingo. I'm going to leave this pad open because we are going to use it again. And I am going to do some stamping here on my scrap. Now there is an inner tube and there is a tire. And I'm going to actually stamp the inner tube first. So if some of you are on here and you already have the bike ride stamp set, here is an awesome tip for you. I have found much better luck stamping this tire backwards. All right, so I'm going to stamp the inner tube first, and I'm going to need, of course, I need 2 tires, right? So I'm going to put another one over here. All right, so I'm going to clean that, stick that off to the side, and then I'm going to stamp the tire. For the longest time, I was stamping the tire and trying to get the inner tube, and I was always kind of like crooked. It was never straight. So I'm going to do it backwards, and I practiced with this again yesterday, and I still had much better success. All right, now you're going to give me a little forgiveness, because if I could tell you how far my head is from the camera, it's not even funny. I'm going to be a little off. I can already tell. I'm a little off. Okay, and I'm also going to give you some tips on how to hide that. The other thing is I don't want my tire black, so I'm going to stamp off, and I'm going to make my tire gray because I want it to coordinate with my words. I think this one's better. I don't know. Let's take a look. Ah, look at that. Pretty good. So I'm going to need 2 tires, but the good news is I already did one beforehand, so you didn't have to watch me do this twice. And I clean that black off here. I'm now going to stamp the frame for the bike. It's all one piece, and I'm going to do that in the Flirty Flamingo. And I'm going to stamp that down here. Firm, even pressure. Remember, when you have a good size stamp, you want to make sure that you trace everything out. All right, I'm getting a nice collection over here. And I'm going to set this aside. I'm not going to need this again. And now we're going to work on some black pieces with the black ink. So there's an image that fills the handlebars. Now, how awesome is this? You do not have to fill them in with markers. So this little image is actually going to cover up those handlebars if you want them colored. So I'm going to stamp on my pad, and I'm going to stamp off on my paper. And then again, my head's far away. I wish you guys were here to help direct me. You know, sometimes a girl has to get her head in the camera. Look it, and I was going to do it upside down. I'm sure some of you were yelling at me, stop. All right, so we've got those colored in. Super easy because you've got a piece for that. How about the seat? Yep, there's a piece for that too. All right, so we're going to ink that up as well, and we are going to stamp off. And there goes my head again. I'm trying to get down a little bit closer so I can make it fairly decent. And there's my stamp. And then guess what? There's one for the pedal too. I know, is this not fabulous? You don't have to color anything in. nor do you have to cut it out. All right, this is gonna go like so. All right, so now we've got that colored in. All right, I wanna pick this up and I wanna show you. Do you see this? You see how I'm a little off here? All right, here's what we're going with. That's called free highlighting. Don't get crazy. If you've got a little bit of white showing, it's okay. It just lends credence to the image. Don't worry about it. It doesn't have to be perfect. All right, next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stamp myself a basket. There are two images for the basket. There is one that's raised and there's another one that's smooth. So I'm gonna ink it up again, and I want this in a lighter shade. The reason I'm doing this is I want to teach you that you can use just one or two ink pads and get a variation of color. All right, so now I've got my basket. I'm gonna clean that off, and now this one is gonna color this in. So obviously I could have used a color, but I want to show you again. So my black ink pad, I'm gonna stamp off once and twice, and then I'm gonna fill this in. So now I've got a really nice light gray basket without using another ink pad. A lot of new stampers can't afford to go out and buy a whole bunch of different colors. And I'm really sympathetic to that because I remember when I was still building my artillery of wonderful things, I couldn't afford it either. All right, so now we've got a beautiful sunflower bouquet. This is the outline image. And the one reason I really like the outline image in this stamp set is that if I choose to color it in, I could. And you can see here that I did this one really strong in black. And the reason is I want those centers to be really, really dark. So I'm gonna add that here. I am now gonna switch over to crushed curry because I wanted my sunflowers to have obviously a little bit of a yellow appearance. So let me grab that image. There is also an image that fills this in. So here's this. Are you ready? There is an image that fills in everything, including the dog. And check this out. This fills in the dog's scarf. These fill in the apples. And this bouquet, these line up perfectly inside here, and these line up in here. I'm telling you, this is so fun. Such a fun stamp set. All right, so I'm gonna ink up my crushed curry. And you see there's a little notch here that kind of gives you a little cheater method. And the great thing about photopolymer, I'm bringing my head down closer because I don't want to miss too bad. All right, is that you can see right through the stamp to the color, and then you can fill it in. Look at, you see those white areas again? We're not going to get crazy. Free highlighting, yes. Gotta love that. All right, so I got a nice pile of stamps going here, but everything is done. I mean, it's finished. There's no coloring needed. You don't have to do any of the work. It's just beautiful. All right, now you ready for the best part about today? It is a big day here in the stamp studio. Look at brand new Big Shot cutting mats. Oh my gosh, can I hear the roar? Send me some likes and love. How many times have I wanted to replace these in the last week? And I'm like, no, I'm gonna wait for my Facebook Live and make it a big deal because it's a huge deal. So I'm gonna turn you this way. And we're gonna go over to the Big Shot. There it is. There's that one tire I've already got. I'm gonna lay my piece. You guys are laughing, but it's a big deal, isn't it? Aren't these wonderful when they're brand new? Now, a lot of you have asked me, how do you keep them from getting all yucky, all right? Well, here's the pads I just threw away. Look at these. Not only are they really in bad shape, and I did a pretty good job, yours are probably really bowed. And if that's the case, it's because you're not flipping them enough. So what was on the top needs to be on the bottom. And what was forward needs to be backwards. So you need to keep converting these in the Big Shot so that they don't get too curved, because then, of course, this is not going to work really well. So I'm using the magnetic platform because I am a huge, huge fan of that when I'm using framelits. It's going to help hold them in place. Why am I keep turning this? I'm trying to find an easy way so I can see it from where I'm standing. I've pulled out all my framelits already, so let me grab those. And let me set this down here. So there's one for the bike frame. No, I'm trying to think. Will it go through this way? Yeah, so you guys can see better, right? All right, so we've got one here for the bike frame. Gonna line that up. Again, just do the very best you can. And then my tire. Oh, look how good that sticks. You gotta love new clear mats. You know, you guys, these are inexpensive. When yours start to get nasty, treat yourself. If you're a paper crafter, you need to have good tools. That makes the job so much easier, doesn't it? All right, I'm gonna line one up here in my basket. I'm being kind of persnickety. And then there's one for the bouquet. That's this one. And that's going to go here. And then, oh, look, I'm a little bit off. Now, if you're like me and your mats slide, this one's not really sliding. It's just that I'm being antsy. I want to show you this. Use Post-it note tabs or Post-it note flags and tape it right over the image, the sticky part. It won't hurt the design, and it's going to help hold those framelits in place. Do you see this little tiny piece? Do you know what this is going to be? This is actually the bike rack. I know, you're thinking, no way. Yeah, wait till I show you. Clear mat over the top. Let me get that on there. And then I am going to crank this through. I'm the only girl in Florida who can craft when we have no power, because this doesn't require any batteries or electricity. My Big Shot is all done manually. And for those of you that know me, uh-oh, did it shift? It did. But you know what? We're going to improvise. Does this happen to you? Oh, for crying out loud. You know, it's always when I'm live. Why is it when I'm stamping by myself, this never happens? Oh my gosh. And I said to myself earlier, maybe you should die cut extras just in case. But did I? Nope. All right, so here we go. I'm going to show you how to fix it, because you know, if I don't show you how to fix it, how are you going to know? All right, we're coming back over to here. You got to love the whole magic of being live. Hi, Joy. Hi, Michelle. All right. Do you see what happened here? Yep. Where is my, here's my little bike rack. Let me pull him off. He is so stuck to my clear magnetic platform right now because it's brand new and it holds everything in place really good. Here's my bike rack. So let me just pop that center right out, and that's going to give me that little frame. And I know one of you is already thinking, oh my goodness, how are you going to attach that? Wait till I show you the trick. All right, so we've got our pieces. Look what I did. All right, so you know what we're going to do? We're not even going to get too fancy. We're just going to really quickly go around and make this okay for you, because I messed up. I messed up. And remember how we talked about a little bit of white? Free highlighting. There we go, right? Oh boy. It happens to me too, gang. Let me tell you, if you were here and you looked through my garbage can, you would be like, seriously, Lisa? You make that many mistakes? I'd be like, oh, friends, you have no idea. You have no idea. All right, I'm going to bring in my silicone craft sheet. That's going to help deter from all that mess that's here stamped on my work surface. And I am going to give you the best tips on putting this stamp set together. All right, so we've got our bike. We're going to flip this over. You're going to use a combination of mini dimensionals, which are the best thing since sliced bread, and regular size dimensionals. So I'm going to start with my minis. And actually, you know what? Let's start with the tires. I changed my mind. Let's do this. I'm going to use my glue dots and the bike frame. So obviously a wheel goes here. So I'm going to press that right on top of my glue dot, and I'm going to lift. And then I'm going to take another one. And you see here, this is the back frame of the bike. That is going to go here. So I've got two glue dots now. All right. I'm going to leave those face up on my table so that you can see it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my tire and I'm going to mount one here. And here's my other tire. And here's the other great thing. Here's a tip for you too, because I had this problem. You know how sometimes you just can't get it straight? And so I've got some bike frame here, so I can kind of hide my ugly spots. So I can just manipulate my tire. So there we go. And I'm going to attach it here. Look, my bike is all together. Now, wasn't that easy? This was so easy. Oh yeah, Ellen is saying that she uses washi tape to hold her dies in place so they don't shift. That's an excellent idea. Excellent. I guess I'm just stingy with my washi tape. I probably shouldn't be, right? Flipping it over, we're now going to use those mini dimensionals. Look how perfect they fit. One on the seat. I'm picking up one here on the handlebars. I'm going to use another one here near the pedal, and another one here inside the frame. And then I'm going to switch over to bigger ones, and I'm going to put them here and here on my tires. You don't need to cover every inch. You just need to make sure that it's balanced, because you want to make sure that when it goes through the mail, that you've got some stability to the image so it doesn't come out all, you know, all crooked when it gets to the other end. I'm sliding that aside because I'm bringing in the card base that we originally stamped. Okay, now we're going to take off the dimensionals. Do you ever have trouble getting these off? All right, so I take my fingernail and I press in the center, and that actually lifts the outside edges of the paper, making the paper a lot easier to take off. I keep my fingernails really short, and Always because they're full of ink. You guys can hear Bob the Builder filling up a glass with ice. I don't know if you can hear that or not. So, you know, it is live, so whatever happens in my house happens here. All right, so now we've got those images. I'm going to position this, some paper on there, and I'm going to position this near my washi tape, like so. But let me show you about the bike rack. Here comes the fun part. I am going to use the multi-purpose liquid glue. Let me tell you something about this. This is like the Hercules of glues. You need a smidgen, and I need a smidgen. And I've been practicing with this because I always tend to be heavy-handed. So right here on this little white area, that's part of the spoke, I am actually dabbing a little tiny, tiny drop on. And then I am going to put my bike rack on like so, and I'm grabbing my paper piercing tool, and I'm going to push and I'm going to hold it in place. The glue dries relatively quickly, but not so quickly that you can't manipulate this to adjust it if it's not straight. But I've got another anchoring tip for you in just a second. So I'm going to cap that, set that aside. I'm going to move this back over to my silicone mat just so you guys can see a little bit better. I think the white on white is distracting sometimes, isn't it? All right, remember this bouquet? All right, what we're going to do now is we're going to take a couple more glue dots and we are going to put them on the back of the basket. So I'm going to put one here at the top and one here at the bottom. Well, I didn't press. There we go. And then I'm going to take my bouquet and I'm just going to decide how much of it I want to show. I'm going to, I think that's probably pretty good. Grabbing my paper snips, I'm going to come up underneath here and I'm going to snip away that portion on the bottom that I don't need. So this is going to end up going here. So here comes your next tip while this is drying. I'm going to flip this over and I am going to use dimensionals again. So I'm going to put one here at the top and I'm going to put another here at the bottom. Now I'm going to use this piece to help keep this piece in place. So I'm going to add a couple small ones as well. Again, mini dimensionals. How many of you, raise your hand by sending me a like, still cut up your big dimensionals? Come on, confession time. Come on, confess. Send me a heart if that's you, or send me a like if that's you, because I know you're doing it, but I'm going to tell you what. These little mini dimensionals have changed my life. I don't have to gunk up my scissors anymore. See, you guys are doing it. If you buy a package of these, you will thank me, I promise. All right, so here we go. We got our bike rack, and now we've got our basket. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that your basket is sitting on top of the bike rack, and that's going to anchor it in place. All right, cute, but you know it's not done at my house unless it has what? Bling! And I know some of you are going to ask me what this is over here. I was practicing with Sharpie markers to see what color shades I could get for another project I was doing, and I didn't have the heart to throw them away because they kind of make me happy. Aren't they pretty? So I am going to take the medium size. I'm just going to slide that down a little bit. They've already got glue dots on the back. So I'm going to put one over that hubcap. So if you get too zealous with your glue, that hides a multitude of sin right there. And another one here. And I like to work in odd numbers, so I'm going to grab one more. And you know where I'm going to put it? Am I putting it here? Oh, I don't know. Should we put? I think we'll put it here. What do you think? Well, there we go. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? And not hard. It's about assembling the bike. Now that I showed you how to put the tires on the frame, you just put dimensionals on the back and you're ready to go. It is not difficult at all. Okay, I've got more cards to show you. Don't go away. All right, let me move all this stuff out of the way. Clear a little spot here. All right, so we're still working with the bike ride stamp set. That's what we're talking about today. And I want to show you the cards that are included in this month's Studio Stamps in the Mail. Studio Stamps in the Mail is a way for you to stamp with me from home every single month. You're going to get the bundle. It's included. So you're going to get the framelits and you're going to get the stamp set. You're also going to get a package of the brand new eclectic shaped clips. And I'm going to show you why you're getting them. You're going to use them on your cards. And you're going to make 8 cards. Okay? I pre-cut all the supplies for you, the designer paper, everything is ready to go. All you have to do is stamp and assemble. The best thing about this month's edition is that you only need a couple colors of ink pads. You're going to need your black, but here's the cards. You're going to get all the accessories. The die cut pieces are going to be done for you. Yes, I'm going to give you pieces of washi tape. Look how cute. The stamp set, have you noticed, does not have words. You can use what you have at home, but you know, this is kind of obvious, right? It's a birthday card or it's a celebration card. Some cards don't even need greetings. Here's the other great things. If you guys are already a stamper, how fun is it to have cards on hand that you can add a quick greeting to when you need something? Because let's face this could be a thinking of you or a hello or a get well, right? Check out this cute clip. Aren't these clips great? So die cut papers are all included. I send you the pre-cut supplies, envelopes, and accessories for studio stamps in the mail completely free. Do you see the foil basket? Isn't that beautiful? And again, remember how I showed you. So you're going to need 3 colors of ink, and here's the last one. Pre-punch pieces are all included, and of course your accessories. Now let me flip you around really quick. I had to look at that screen and make sure I didn't press the wrong button. Facebook likes to mess with me every single month. All right, studio stamps in the mail. The last day to order is Sunday. I do not charge you for anything other than priority shipping because that's the cheapest way for me to get it to you, okay? So shipping, handling, and tax on this bundle with the clips comes out to, I wrote it down so I got it wrong, didn't get it wrong, $57.67. So I add the $6.50 for the padded priority mail shipping because I get a discounted rate on the postage, and I'm charging $64. I am not charging you for the cards and the envelopes. I give those to you for free. I'll cut it, I package it all pretty. Those of you that are on here, and I know I see some of you that have done studio stamps in the mail with me before, know that I put a lot of time and care into those packages. Here's the best part. I offer a bonus for all my studio stamps in the mail customers. If you decide to purchase this month's edition, and there's no commitment, it's month to month, there's no club, there's no commitment, you will also be invited to my Live with Lisa event that's going to be on Monday, August 28th. So what's Live with Lisa? Well, Live with Lisa is fabulous because it's like this, but way bigger. I demonstrate more. You're going to get 2 total bundles of tutorials, and this month I think it's 8. In addition to that, I give away product prizes. So I give away free product for everybody who's earned Live with Lisa. You can earn it through your purchase of studio stamps in the mail or by placing a simple $25 online product order. That's it. It's pretty simple. Everything I use tonight is available in my online store, and I offer great exclusive online rewards. I think that's it. If you need more information, click on the Learn More button here on my Facebook page. It'll navigate you right to my blog. And if you haven't noticed, I did an overhaul on my blog. Did you guys notice it's a little bit different? I have lots of videos there for you too, and I have a huge library of PDF tutorials you're welcome to look at. Give me a few minutes now that we're done, and I'm going to put the pictures of tonight's card up on the Facebook page for you. And I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Thanks so much for joining me, everyone. Remember, if I didn't get to you, I was just looking at your comments. If I didn't get to you, a question you may have had or a comment, remember, I come back and like or reply on every single one that's here on the live event tonight. So thanks so much for joining me, everyone. I look forward to seeing you again. Have a great night.